All right, we are filming here a 2000 Land Rover Defender that was a special order at Car Cave, USA in Aiken, South Carolina. Our phone number is 803-262-4742. Our web address is carcaveusa.com. So what's special about this thing, you might ask? There's a lot special with it. It was actually built in December of 1999 as a 300 TDI. And if you know your Land Rovers, you will know that they quit making them for civilian production in October of 1998. So it was a UN NATO spec that was delivered to the Balkans region. So it went to Croatia and was utilized there in the region until it was picked up for restoration about 7 or 8 years ago. Older restoration, and you know, it has some flaws, some imperfections, a couple things here and there on it. You know, you can see it along, but you see the spot welds going down the side. Same with you go into the chassis, has a clean chassis, straight body. It's not, you know, like I said, it's not perfect by any means. You can see, like I said, imperfections on the paint, but it was a tear down repaint. There's no advanced corrosion you really see on the body. There's going to be some in occasional places, but well, you know, good solid tear down and repaint. But also one of the coolest features is it is a 300 TDI. So it was done and installed the drivetrain here in the US, so it entered the country legally, which a lot of them, if you're swapped overseas and then brought in, it would not have been legal. So it was done here in the US and installed the drivetrain. It was from a Land Rover Discovery with the ZF4. It's a mechanical 4-speed automatic, and the Discovery engine has a little bit higher horsepower output, and the transfer box is re-geared to make up for the loss of a 5th gear and the automatic gear ratios. So drives well. We went through, we resealed all the motor up, transmission filter, and you know, put everything together and gauges and functional. The other thing that is unique about this is the you know, the prior ownership has some interesting lineage, so feel free to ask about that. And it was refinished and tear down respray, and this we've been calling it a Dijon mustard almost. So you have the factory white steel wheels with a contrasting white color matched roof to the wheels, snorkel. They took it apart. They also did some plating work, so you'll see some galvanization plating here. Same with on the snorkel tube and various parts as it was taken apart. You see a few imperfections just from with age and getting driven. It was garage kept after it was restored, but not really driven a lot. The restorer drove it, I don't know, for probably about a year before deciding to sell it. Kind of liked the design of his own work, so kept it in-house for a little bit. You do have the checker plate on the wing tops, the bonnet. You have the aluminum grille, which gives a different look behind there. Clear markers up front, a front tubular bumper, and you have HD steering rods here. Windshield's pretty clean. I see a few little divots, nothing that's going to affect it. We do keep windshields in stock if you ever need one. What is important is these outriggers here, floor pans being nice and clean. The tires are aged. We're giving an $800 tire allowance, so you can pick out a tire set of what you want. You do see going in here, you have a nice clean bulkhead. Go in down low, you see the bottom of the floor pan, the outriggers, and you see how the inner wheel well was reworked. So plated and gone through. Side step here. Let's see what else. The interior is, I don't know to call it a checked white pattern or if that's a plaid, but you have this nice tan canvas on the plaid check, or we'll call it plaid check black and white. The little vent handles were color matched. You have 12-volt outlet, and then the center is a bucket from a Discovery 1. You have a coin tray here. Your door cards have the same material insert. The headliner's in good shape. It was redone during the restoration. The visor's rewrapped. So, like I said, not perfect, but it's clean all around. It's hard to find one of these without a ton of corrosion. You have a front rubber mat system up here. These molded mats are pretty nice to have. Sorry, the guys kicked a little sand in it when they went out to photograph, but you do have some breakdown when they recoated. You can tell it was gray underneath here. They went through the panels and the door cards. So we can put it up on the lift for you for some undercarriage photos. All you got to do is ask. And like I said about the plating, you can see this was all taken apart. It was replated when it went to the upholstery shop. Looks like new seat belts were utilized. You know, the back's clean, a custom rear door card. And you have a rubber mat back here too. It has a little bit of padding underneath so you can sound deaden it down. If you've ever been in one of these, this is straight metal through here to the great outdoors. So you can pick up sound pretty easily. And I think we looked at this part of the chassis. Spot welds going through. Let's see, what else are we looking at here? So you have a little age on the door cards. They could use a little cleaning up. We didn't start getting into the aesthetics of this. We made sure to put in the motor. Want to make sure it all functioned and operated. And the guys should have got this off before we got it out to market. So that is something that will come off. They had tape on there to double-side sticky tape it on. What we do is we'll put in a, by request, a plastic tag bracket so you can mount your tag. US style, state style, wherever it is. We have a universal tag size here in the US. You have the mat system back here. The seatbelt bars are still in place if you want to add some rear seats. And the headliner's all around in good shape. I don't believe we have a working dome light. It's not working with the door contactor because it is no longer in place there. It was removed. You have a little corrosion, which you see on the rear cross member. Rear trailer hitch, you have the 95mm rear lights here. You do have two spares. You have the one in the front, the one in the rear. And you can see the spot welds coming down the side of the body here. We'll go in. I can't remember which side we did. So, not been welded into on the cross member. You have row rear shocks. Everything's healthy there. So, door cards in good shape. Like I said, these were repainted when it went through, and you can get a little bit of it or re-dyed. It'll chip off, but the rear seats look like they were not sat in. I would assume they're pretty much new since it was redone. I'm looking around as I'm talking here to see if there's anything else we need to review. Top dash is clean. They like to crack there. I said there's little things like galvanizing plating here, your mat system. It's a little imperfection on the door card there that's coming off. Side step here. And like I said, clean dash. Newer style steering wheel. Leather shift boot over there, and you have a little wear on the shift boot here. The window switches are non-functional. They weren't part of, they were just left in there from the Discovery swap over. And let's see, I think that sums it up here. Mainly you're probably looking at this thing due to the automatic. It's a solid conversion, rolls down the road. You put your pedal on the accelerator and go. Put it in gear. Sometimes, even with all the manuals we have in here, it's comforting just to drive an automatic. So if you have questions, let us know. You can review the work we did to it while it was here in our shop. Like I said, the phone number is 803-262-4742. If you look around while we're doing this walk around, you can see we are well versed in Defenders, off-road vehicles. You can see in our shop up here, I don't know how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, plus some Lancias, some interesting spec, low mileage vehicles, an Escort. We have a full shop in back, which I know we're getting our work on back there. Some Alphas, some unique stuff. another Fulvia, Piaggio Api. You have Izetta, some K trucks. And back here in the shop, old Ford F100. It is after hours. You have a V8 Defender, a Bronco, and the line goes down there. So if you have any questions, reach out. My name's Chris at Car Cave.